Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and the new edition of our online interview series. We want to get an update from Denarius Metals, and Serafino Iacono is here with us. Hey, good morning to Colombia. How are you?
Good morning. Very well, thank you. Thank you for hosting me.
With pleasure, and I'm also a shareholder in the company. I have to disclose that, despite the fact that the markets were, I would say, rubbish the last 2-3 months, really, and also your stock got really hammered, which I think is definitely not justified. And I'm on the buying side because 25 cents was already my buying. So now the stock was down, I think, to 20 cents, which is really crazy because you are working in Spain, the Lomera-Poyatos project. And I must say, you bring out fantastic news releases with drill results. So what's going on there?
Well, look, you have a very crazy market these days. I think that like everything in a swing, everybody's looking for liquidity, and they get liquidity wherever they can. I've seen this picture before. You've seen it before when people panic. I mean, I look at these markets, and everybody's been talking about and calling that the bad wolf is coming for the past 6 years, and nobody has listened. Stock markets were roaring, interest rates were doing fantastic. Everybody was living in la la land with lower interest rates, and they woke up 2-3 months ago or 4 months ago to realize that we are in a recession, and that the world, according to them, is ending. So they want to have cash, so they're selling. It's a crazy market, especially when everybody's talking about that they want to go green, and commodities are the necessity. And we are in a place. We are not in Africa. We're not in South America. We are not in crazy places, or we're not in Russia. We are in Spain with a project surrounded by 4 major producers with confirmation. Now we finish our drilling into our project. Our 21,000 meters drilling is being finished this week as we speak. As you said, we have announced incredible results. Those incredible results have done the most important thing, not only confirmation of everything that was done in the past on this project, where we have 20 million tons of mineable material in a mine that has been drilled 3 times by 3 different companies, including us. We have now confirmed SRK is working as we speak to do a scoping study, which is going to become, by the end of the year, a pre-feasibility. And the pre-feas, we're going to be starting to apply with the government to start to build a production facility so that we can extract this material. So just to give you a quick update on the thing, we finished our drilling. We have confirmed that the mineralization that is there is there. It's very easy mineable. Okay, it's going to be, we got fantastic widths. We have confirmed our grades. You know, this thing's got almost 1% copper. So 20 million tons with 1% copper, that's 200,000 tons of copper sitting around. You have zinc, almost 3% zinc. You got almost 1% lead. You got 44 million ounces of silver sitting in this deposit. 1 ounce, 2 ounces of silver per ton. And we have 3 grams of gold on average. This is what makes this deposit different than the rest of the neighbors, is the amount of gold that nature has given us in this deposit. So what are we doing? What is the $1 million question on this deposit? How much gold is free gold, and how much gold can you recover out of this process? And how much gold is going to be left in the pyrite that you'll be able to sell someday, but at a much lower cost, because it's associated with 50% iron, which, by the way, has a value, and we're not even talking about it. So we have just sent to a lab in England to do the metallurgical testing now on the gold, because metallurgical testing on the other minerals, it's pretty much the same as everything else. The copper is being recovered in Spain in our neighbors' projects. The zinc is being recovered, lead is being recovered, the silver is being recovered. There is no mystery on that. Now the question is going to be, we send these samples. We believe that more than 60% of the gold is free gold. Could possibly be more than that. Wow. But even at 60% of the gold, you got over 1.5 million ounces of gold sitting in that deposit. Still open at depth and still open at strike. So
would that be an open pit to start with and then go underground?
Most likely will be all underground.
Okay.
If there was an open pit, it would be in the first 4 levels, because this used to be a pyrite mine. So there's still a lot of ore. These guys used to mine pyrite underground. We dewatering right now the first 5 levels, where we're going to see how much of material is left out of in the pillars that were left with the copper and the zinc and the lead. Maybe the first 150 meter could be open pit. I honestly believe that it's going to be mined all underground. It's going to be sub-level stoping. It's a very easy deposit to mine. You have widths over here of between 3 meters and 45 meters width of mineralized zone. So, I mean, the thickest of the mineralized zone that you see it in one of our results that we have found so far, it's 29 meters with 3% copper. I mean,
that's
it's
a lot.
Unbelievable.
That's really a lot. Yeah.
So lots of upside, on our side, so I look at this market, and I'm a big buyer. You can see it on the roster of buying shares. Let people sell at 20 cents. It's only a buying opportunity for me and some of our investors. You know, where there is a seller, there is always a buyer.
Definitely. I will also buy, definitely, but it's way too cheap.
So I bought at 27. Gran Colombia bought 7 million shares into this market. Right now, Gran Colombia is the largest shareholder into this project. It's got 33%. And believe me, if there is a project that's going to be our next project that we want to look at, that is the project. Super. And especially if the gold turns out to be what it is, this is a major deposit.
Yeah. I see it the same way, definitely. I saw in your presentation, of course, your initial drill results increase our confidence in the historical resource. So we know there's a historical resource. We know the metal is there. Your drill results are outstanding. I mean, you have all the metals we need for renewable energy, e-mobility, solar. It doesn't matter. Yeah. High tech, whatever you want. And we need it. As you said, we are in Spain. Yeah. And so it's in front of the door of the industry which needs it.
Absolutely. Right? We're in Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
My copper is not going to come from the Congo. My copper is going to come from the southern part of Spain.
Yeah, conflict-free.
Conflict-free.
No child work, no slavery.
I don't know. You've seen it because you live in Europe. The European community is becoming more and more aware with the war that is happening over there, that being self-sufficient in commodity is very important. That's why they're coming out now to the surprise of everybody, and they're saying, well, you know, nuclear energy is not so bad. Natural gas is a green metal, or it's a green energy, and they're going to find the same thing. You know something, you produce copper, you don't buy copper from the Congo. You buy copper from Spain, or you buy it from Sweden, or you buy it from France, or whatever it is. But you're not going to be buying. The world is going to a situation that the Americans are going to be mining their own resources. South America is going to become the platform for North America and Canada. That's going to be the reality. That part of the world is going to be providing minerals for their own world. The Chinese are going to go to Africa and going to become the owners of Africa. Russia is going to do Russia, and it's going to go with Kazakhstan and Afghanistan, and all the stands in the world are going to be producing for Asia and for some country that are going to do business with them. And Europe has got to wake up and smell the coffee and say, I want to be self-sufficient in minerals in a country, in a country, because we are a country. Europe is a continent of a country of the same people with the same interests that are going to be, that produce cars, produce airplanes, and they need all the metals that right now we're buying from the Chinese. And I can tell you one thing, it's going to reach a point that the Chinese are going to come in and they're going to say, I'm not selling you copper bars. What I'm selling you is copper cable if you're going to be needing cable. So I'm going to be selling you the final product. And what's going to happen to the European industry? Are they going to rely on China to make them a block of motors of aluminum or iron ore to build buildings? Or are we going to be mining our own things in Europe?
Exactly. So that leads to the question: when will we see a 43-101 resource with the new standards, not a historical one?
You're going to be seeing great results starting at the end of July. You're going to get the first scoping study, which is going to certify that what we have is what we have, and that it's mineable. We already know what our cost of producing in Spain are. You can look at it in the MATSA plan right next to us that just published it. They published the numbers. It's the same as Atalaya and everybody. Mining a ton of material in Spain, mining it, disposing it, G&A and everything included is about $55 per ton.
Wow.
So what you mining in our deposit, it's $400 rock. So
nice margin, I would say.
So fantastic margin. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing our scoping, finish our scoping sometime in July. August, we already have contracted with SRK. We will have our metallurgical results on the gold, which is going to be included. And then we're going to go a pre-feasibility. Pre-feasibility is going to be finished by January of next year. And by January of next year, we're going to pull the trigger on the project of building it. I can give you, and I have no problem in giving to the market because this is what I have in my head. This is what it's going to be on the project. With the resource that we have right now, it's going to be a 20-year project, 1 million tons a year, mining 4,000 tons a day. So 1 million too. Recovery of the material, it's going to be, you're going to have a company that's going to probably, to build it, if we're going to build the full facility, will be about $250 million. That would be about 100 million to build the mine, so that to go underground and develop the levels so that you can do sub-level stoping. And the rest will be equipment and building facilities for CIL gold recovery for the free gold, and then concentrate, make a gold copper concentrate, a zinc concentrate with gold, and then lead and silver concentrate. Those are going to be the plant, 4,000 tons a day facility, $250 million gross investment, and I can build that thing in 24 months.
Oh, I love it. And for the regulators, that was a forward-looking statement, of course. It's not yet proven, but it looks like the company has a great game plan.
Totally forward-looking statement, but you know something? You've seen, we build mines. We don't promote.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And when I see people selling stock at 20 cents on something that's got these kind of resources to be developed, I find it incredible. But to me, it's a buying opportunity. That's why Gran Colombia has gone to 33% ownership of this thing. We're not doing it because we're dumb. We're doing it because we see what the potential is there. Now, what I gave you, obviously, it's a very forward-looking statements, but it is what I see in my vision of building a mine.
Fantastic. Last question. What is cash in the bank? Are you financed for this year?
We have $7 million US in the bank. We have more than enough to finish the, we have $2 million that's going to go into drilling. That's going to be another 30,000 meters to expand and go depth and to tighten up the resources so that when we're ready to do the pre-feasibility, we're going to have reserves, not resources and reserves. It's going to be all categorized at 20 million into the reserve category. So that's going to be about $2 million. Our G&A is very small. We operate with 12 people in the mine. Everything is contract.
Super.
So very small G&A, $500,000 a year at most. And the rest of the money, when we go into feasibility, I already have Gran Colombia that is ready to write a check for an additional. And we have interest of some companies that are looking at the gold and the silver for doing a streaming. And
that's what I thought. Okay, super. Yeah, perfect. Looks like a super game plan for Denarius Metals also, and definitely totally undervalued. And I will definitely buy more shares. I'm a shareholder, as I said already, but that is so cheap. It's dirt cheap. It's unbelievable.
So will I.
Yeah, super. Okay, Serafino, thank you very much for the updates. That all looks great, and I have a good feeling that we talk quite soon when you bring scoping study out and also reserve resources, etc. So that looks fantastic. Super. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Keep it going. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Serafino Iacono from Denarius Metals, and you heard it. Polymetallic project in the heart of Spain, surrounded by 4 mines. Company has over $7 million US in the bank, and very soon comes the scoping study and also pre-feasibility. And I think at 20 cents, this is really a bargain for the stock, because one thing is for sure, Europe needs all those metals, and they need it sooner than later. That is also for sure. And with GCM in the back as the largest shareholder, I think no doubt that this will be developed. So thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.